All right, you ready for my review? This one's the 2022 Harley-Davidson Pan America Special. There's a lot of features about this bike, and I can only go over a few. I've got the Special. It has the adaptive ride height. Adaptive ride height allows a short guy like me to get on this bike and enjoy it. So when I come to a stop, the bike will lower about an inch, and then when I take off, you don't feel it, but it goes back up. And the great thing about this is if I slow down just enough and I'm off-road and I need to get my feet down someplace, this bike has all the capabilities to let me get that foot down to reach those areas, so I'm not like stepping into a pothole or something. If I follow a rock, I can get up to a rock or what have you. But this bike is tremendous. So let's talk about some of the cool features of this bike. As I mentioned, adaptive ride height is one thing, but there's so many features to it that make this bike, first of all, a great touring bike. And this is a touring bike. It's not a dirt bike. It's not an off-road bike. It's a touring bike. And this touring bike can go off-road if you need to. It's got a good clearance to it. If we wanted to get really down the dirt, we could take out the rubber pads that are comfort for the foot pegs, and those are interchangeable between the front and the back. So if you did want to switch out those or take these out and have an extra pair, it's great because if you need boots that got grip, these treads will grip your boots really well. Now with the Special, it comes with this brush guard up here. And I put the brush guard in a category of it's a need because you're going to drop this bike. It's going to happen at some point in time. But I love it because if I'm riding this bike and I'm out on the road, I'm really accustomed to that kind of leaning back mode, that posture that you'd have back here on the street glide or road glide. And what I've done is I've put some rubberized, texturized here, which is a bed liner piece, and I just masked this piece off. So now when my foot sits up there, whether it's in these shoes or my riding boots, that foot will stay in place as I'm riding if I want to kind of have that extra leg room, if you will. But otherwise, this position, the central position, is not bad at all. I'm enjoying it. Coming from a bagger and a street glide, this is pretty cool. Now I added risers to this. So the risers I put on this are up 2 and back 1. So I've literally got more space to get back to myself. I don't have to worry about getting hunkered over when I'm riding down the road. I can actually kick back and relax. Of course, the Pan America has cruise control, so who needs to worry about any of that? You just literally can enjoy yourself. It's got a manual windshield that you can actually adjust and move up and down while you're out and about on the road. I pretty much so keep mine down in the lowest position. There's 4 positions on that, but it does work well. It's got a touch sensitive screen, and just the capabilities of that alone are amazing, and that's a whole nother video we'll talk about. But there's different ride modes. So if I'm heading down the road and I'm on the road mode, it begins to rain or whatever, and I'm concerned about that, I can go into rain mode, which does change the operation of the bike so that I'm not really thrusting myself into situations where I'm throwing the tires out from underneath me. And I can also go into off-road mode. I can do an off-road plus. There's so many different features. Again, a whole nother video on that. But those road modes are really handy to have at your fingertips. Be careful. You go to sport mode and you will lift the front end of this bike up, because this out of the gate is 149 horsepower. That is not just a small amount of power that comes from this bike. This is an incredible amount of power. And I think that it has probably the most versatility of any bike. It's the funnest bike I've ever owned. I can't believe that I waited this long to go from a bagger, a street glide, into this, the adventure bike. An adventure, it's exactly what it is. It is an adventure waiting to happen. It has breakaway hand grips, so these grip guards that can actually snap away and snap right back on. And if you look really close, there's a notch in the levers here, so that if you do hit a rock or a tree or something and it breaks your lever, you're not going to lose the whole lever, so you're not stranded out someplace. You literally will still have half your lever, at least half of it, so you can get yourself home or back to someplace where you can repair. So many different features about this bike, and I really can't begin to tell you all of them, but the biggest thing I can tell you is get out and ride one. The differences that I have made on this, like I said, I did the risers. I've added a sundowner seat. This is not a lower seat, it's a sundowner seat, which is about the same as the factory seat. I haven't done anything to the pillion, the back seat yet. These are OGO bags. I'm not one that likes those big bags. I do like to carry different things. I carry camera equipment. I like to carry a bunch of luggage when I'm going long distance and such. This is extendable bags, and there'll be a link at the bottom of this for the OGO bags. These are great for this. There's no brackets needed. This is all factory mount. I'm on the outside mount and they're strapped on Velcro. This all comes off with 4 straps that I can actually carry this into a hotel room, so I've got everything there with me. So that's really the only things that I have changed on this. is by, well, I did add a phone mount here too, but I've got the risers, the seat, and doing these bags was the most important things to me. And I actually put the rubberized strip on the brush guard so that I could relax my feet. But I think I'm going to order for some foot pegs just in case. I don't need them, and I don't think you'll need them. But all in all, this bike is, with technology, with its speed, with its strength, and obviously the beautiful design that it is, it's spectacular. Add this entire package to the large capacity fuel tank that gets you a range of around 230 to 250 miles on a tank, and I'm getting about 41 miles per gallon, but I ride this thing like a bat out of hell. So I know that I'm pushing this thing, and people are probably getting better than that on theirs, and I would like to hear what you're getting on yours. So this large capacity full tank over 5 gallons allows you to have that distance you need to go as far as you want to go. And keep in mind, when you're riding with other people, they're not ready for that when you start showing what kind of mileage you will get on this. But the clearance on this is spectacular. Like I mentioned, it's got the adaptive ride height. When you take off, it does come back up. You don't see it, you don't feel it. It just does it itself, and it gives you that clearance back. And when you slow down, it brings it down. So as it brings it down, it allows you to be able to, I'm a short guy, 5'7", and it allows me to get my feet on the ground once I started that up. So of all the features on this, I think that's one of the best ones. But the Harley-Davidson Pan America Special 2022 version is, in my opinion, the best bike I've ever owned. I hope you get a chance to ride one. I hope you get a chance to experience one. And I'm pretty sure that if you get out and do the proper test ride, you're probably going to be an owner of one of these soon. So good luck with that. The Harley-Davidson Pan America Special. Want to take it for a spin? Let's go.